goodbye. Say goodbye.
He gets a little.
Don't say goodbye.
Jesus. What is up with that?
He never misses when I get something, for some reason.
Perfect.
And that's how you spell his name, not with the
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
And can I give you a credit card too? Thanks. Oh. You call me? You call me? I've been in Kauai, so I don't know if I can answer. That's why I can't be with him for dinner. I'm sending a buddy of mine to the palace Saturday night.
When are you going to Hawaii?
Tomorrow. Kauai, baby. See my Ryan and Selena.
Do they want to see you?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no. They're excited.
Are they pregnant yet?
Nope. At least they haven't told us if they are. Yeah, maybe that's what I was hoping. I'm like, maybe it's going to be like, oh, we didn't want to tell you. Who knows?
You can tell she's director of business. Look how local they are.
What are you reading, Tom? You're shaking your head. Oh, what's going on? Somebody's not playing right?
Yeah, the easiest shot of the three, and he's the furthest away.
Those earrings are off the
Thank you.
off the hook.
Will you turn my mic?
Good
down?
morning, young ladies.
Good morning.
Oops. You take all this shit off. How's it going?
You made it.
Good. Was there traffic?
Bad.
Huh? Where you come from?
Seattle, so not,
Oh, West Seattle.
you know, you're not bad.
Well, West Seattle used to take about an hour, so
Well, true. It's not bad now.
depends on the day.
Depends on what a concrete is falling out of the bridge.
Yeah, exactly. If there's a hole in the concrete or a brick falls off, or
It's our $1 billion bridge falling apart.
just goes to prove it's not how much money you spend.
Okay.
Shall we?
So you checking out my mom's stove? Pretty cute, huh?
So good. It's such good shape.
Yeah.
But I heard you boys had
It's like me. Just great shape. Yeah. You heard it. What?
that you boys had, or your kids had to clean it every night.
Oh, yeah. And so she cleaned it. You know, of course, I've been out of that house for 45 years or so, but she still cleaned it like it was her 57 Chevy, you know? It's like polished it. And, yeah. And cooked for 10 kids, 10 people for 70 years on it. Yeah.
It's a precious thing.
Yep.
And you really have done nothing to it? Like,
Nope. It's got a chunk out the right side. When they moved from Cleveland to Newark, Delaware in 1964, they the moving company or somebody chunked it the right side. So, but that's, and the other thing that's worn out is it used to have a top mantle with the matching salt and pepper shakers and the clocks,
oh, yeah.
and that fits right on the top of the stove. But it's all gone. I can buy pieces on the internet, but that's about it. Okie dokie, chef, you ready to go here?
Yes,
I
sir.
guess we're just going to wait if people show up. But
We're gonna act like if they're here.
Bridget and Annie, you have breakfast started this morning? All right.
You smell it. I can smell the muffins.
Wow. I can smell the muffins.
The muffins are in the oven. You're in for a treat.
Pam, are you going to pull that microphone over to you, or what are you going to do?
Yes.
Welcome to the Hot Stove Society show on Cairo Radio. We're happy to be
Come
back
on.
with you on this lovely spring, all of a sudden turned summer here in Seattle.
Absolutely.
Happy Memorial Day weekend. It's going to be an exciting picnic time for so many of us.
Yeah.
And hopefully you're out there in the park listening to our show. Just
On
turn
the
up
loudspeaker.
Turn up the volume on the loudspeaker. We can do the whole memorial.
Yeah, we
picnic
want
with
everyone
you.
at Golden Gardens to embrace us.
That would be
Exactly.
awesome.
We're happy to have somewhat of a live audience. Are you guys alive? Yeah. Okay. All right.
Oh,
We're happy to
good
have
spirit. Team spirit.
good team spirit. If you want to come join our live audience, it's quiet today, but sometimes we have a full house. Sometimes we have a couple of people. So come join us for breakfast and coffee here at the Hot Stove. We're in the beautiful, remodeled, and lovely Hotel Andra.
Fantastic
Have
place.
you had a chance to check out the new room designs here?
Yes,
And-
it looks absolutely marvelous.
Yes.
I mean, a staycation here is definitely not to be forgotten.
Exactly. You know, we did our
beautiful.
thing for Mother's Day. We have to think of another contest to run.
Yes, and the hotel's excited about it, and it wants to help us. Which
Really?
I didn't get them on board for the last time, but they're all in now.
They're all in. If you want to join us here in the kitchen, just go to hotstovesociety.com and buy a ticket. $25 comes with breakfast and a hot cup of coffee. If you can't make the show, we're on YouTube Live. Hi, YouTubers.
Hello, YouTubers.
That are watching us. Go to Tom Douglas & Co. and you can pick up our feed on YouTube. And we generally tape on Thursday mornings. We're both we taped an extra show this week because you're in Hawaii next week.
Yep.
And I'm in Scotland next week.
That's right.
Yeah. So
Boo-hoo, I'm by myself.
and where are you, Pam?
Oh,
Ballard.
Where's our
by
producer Pamela next week
yourself.
in Ballard?
Ballard.
That's all right. We're going to talk about
Ballard.
Memorial Day picnics today, including what to make as your protein and what maybe are some appropriate sides to go with it. The co-founders of the pastry project, the pastry project,
Maybe they could
Emily
add
Kim
that.
and Heather Hodge join us, talk about their job training program. And this I'm very curious about because I have a lot of feelings about chocolate chip cookies.
I know this.
Yeah.
Because-
They say that they have the perfect chocolate chip cookie recipe. So if you're not listening, you're not going to find out what that is. The fun and joy of making sushi and onigiri at home and customize your own quick pickles. You are fascinated with quick pickles.
I am, and then we talked about it yesterday with rhubarb too. I never thought about pickling rhubarb,
What do
but
you mean?
I've
It's
got.
in my book. Have you never read my book?
Well, then I was embarrassed, and I went and grabbed your book.
You know, this is how you make them ready.
But since I've been making more Israeli food now, there's always pickles, and it says, do you some honor to your food by making your own quick pickles. So
Uh-huh.
I've got to get my hands around
It's
it.
pretty darn simple.
Yeah, it's
You
very
know,
simple.
You don't even have
Save
to
it
heat
for
the
the
vinegar if
segment.
you don't want to, just so you know.
Okay.
And then wrapping up, last week you threw a curveball and put food for thought, tasty trivia in the third segment of the first hour.
I can't
Yeah.
wait to hear
It
what.
wasn't even the last segment.
I'm
Can't
gonna
even-
get.
I
hate
can't
mail.
wait to hear what people are gonna say.
You know what they're going to say, Chef? Nice of Terry to show up for the show after you sleeping in last week.
Is that what they're gonna say?
Yeah, that's
Uh-huh.
exactly what they're going to say.
Sure.
I've been doing evening spots, the TV show on King 5 for the last 10, 12 years. And yesterday I did them at my home because the hot stove was
Right,
busy.
we were
Normally
busy.
I tape them right here at the hot stove. So the TV station came to my home, which, God, cleaning up for TV,
Oh, too much.
too much work.
Couldn't you just do it at the beach or something?
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
fine.
But then I have to drag all that stuff down there. I have a pretty nice kitchen at my house, Pamela.
Yeah, your kitchen is very well ready for that.
Oh yeah. Anyway, I did this spot, and so I'm going to talk about my taste of the week last night because, it's been hot around here, and we have to think about in summertime how do you cook at home, get inspired to cook at home, and not have the ovens on and all the burners going and all the stuff that you might do, like when Chef Terry's cooking because he's such a fancy cook. It takes every
Fancy.
burner, every oven, every pot
You know how I cook,
in
Tom?
the house. So, but I did this thing for evening, which was a 10-minute meal.
A 10-minute meal.
A 10-minute meal. And I know you laugh at this, Chef, because you're thinking,
Well, I'm gonna
well,
time
you
you.
just,
I'm
you
gonna
just
time
stopped
you.
at McDonald's is what you did.
I'm gonna time you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless you bring the chicken already roasted on your counter.
No, but here's the thing. Exactly. Fregola, the Sardinian fregola, which is
Big
toasted,
fan.
kind of toasted couscous in a way, and
Right.
big little, listen to me, chunks of pasta, like the Israeli couscous, but a little bit square,
Right.
toasted, already in a bag, ready to go, cooks in 10 minutes. While that's cooking in 10 minutes in one pan of boiling water, you saute chopped asparagus, fresh spring peas, mushrooms, mint leaves, all these little things in in lemon extra virgin olive oil.
Mm-hmm.
Dress your
Wow.
salad. Put a little can of St. Jude's tuna on top. You've got the most beautiful, springy, summerish 10-minute meal with barely a burner on.
Mm.
Oh, so good.
Frigala,
I,
I'm so
uh,
surprised you like that.
How about that? I garnished with chive blossoms.
I like how
and
she's surprised you like that.
It was beautiful. Well, she's surprised about a lot of things. I was
I know.
surprised. I've been knowing Pam for almost 45 years now. Pam picked up the tab at dinner last night for the first time that I can remember in the history of our relationship.
Good for
He's
you.
lying.
Good
about
for
it.
you.
We went to a restaurant on your
Happy
recommendation
birthday,
last
Tom.
night, 8-row over in
Oh,
Green
was
Lake.
it good?
Delicious, good fun.
Ah, it's
Absolutely.
a great restaurant.
Nice wine list, but yeah, Pam picked up the tab. You could have blown me over with a feather.
Boom.
Boom, knocked me.
Oh.
Chef, and your taste of the week.
Well, my taste of the week was a little. I had a prime rib steak in my freezer a couple of days ago. I pulled it out. Very
Was
delicious.
Is it good cold like that?
Yeah, it's really delicious. It's hard too. It's nice. No, but anyway, thaw it out and pan fry it in a cast iron pan with just salt, pepper, and fresh thyme
Mhm.
chopped on top. That's all. But the side of that was absolutely empty the refrigerator because we're going to be leaving for Hawaii tomorrow. So it was like trying to empty the refrigerator. So half of an endive, a couple leaves of lettuce. That was the base to the salad that was going to be meat with it. And then I had a few spinach left. I had some mushroom, raw mushroom. I had some. So I did all this in the same cast ironing pan than I was doing the steak. So I did the steak first,
Yes.
and then I put the steak to rest on the side, and then I cooked it rare first. I put it on the side, let it rest, and then with all that fat that had rendered, because it's a very fatty steak, because it was from a ranch in Eastern Washington, beautiful fat. So I rendered the whole fat. I had 2 small potatoes that were boiled. I cut them in small pieces, sauteed them in the fat, put the spinach, put the mushroom, tossed the whole thing together, did a quick little saute of all that, salt, pepper, put that on the side, put the steak back in the pan, and cook it to medium rare because my wife is not a big fan of rare. So
Neither
anyway,
am I for that.
Me
cook
either.
that medium rare and then take it out again, let it rest. Oh my God.
And just a bounty of vegetables.
It was
over
just
it.
all those vegetables around it and that salad. It was so delicious.
Sounds
and,
delicious, Chef. Thanks for the invite. That was awesome. Pam and
and
I
I
will
picked
be.
up the tab.
If Pam hadn't been buying last night, I would have come to your house. On Cairo Radio, it's the Hot Stove Society show. Let's talk Memorial Day picnics when we come back. 97.3 FM.
Hello,
Thank you.
Lisa. Welcome. I'm Pamela. Thanks for coming. You saw where the coffee was.
She looks like Joan Namcook.
I know it.
Yeah.
Same size too. We gotta find out. Is she a weaver? A weaver.
No, she's not a. Joan's going to be in town here.
Oh,
She asked me if I wanted to have lunch on the 31st. But I'm getting back from Scotland that day.
Yeah. Something happening on the 31st. Okay. Next up.
Oh,
I'm going to flip it and do proteins first because we want to match the side dishes
Okay.
to the proteins.
isn't it what it says? Oh,
I did the sides first, but proteins make sense.
oh, in what you sent us yesterday, wasn't that the other way? I could have swear vegetable second. Maybe not.
And we're back. We're doing push-ups here at the Hot Stove on Cairo Radio. I'm Tom Douglas.
And I'm Thierry Roturo, the chef in a hat.
I'm chef owner of a few joints around town. I always say chef owner, but we have tons of chefs,
Oh yeah,
and they do all the work. So I'm
you're the big chef.
I'm now the what do you call me, Pam? You always called me
Founder.
the founder. I'm the
The
founder
founder.
of TV and Co.
You're almost
Exactly.
buried there, Tug. That's almost the end there.
I
Oh,
totally
how
get
about,
You're
it.
not a founder.
creative visionary.
Oh, well, what does Amy do then?
Uh,
I guess
she-
I'm the creative visionary. She makes it
implementate.
all happen.
She's the implementer.
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
the finisher. When Pam used to work for us, we used to call her the finisher because both ET and I love the ideas, and then they just kind of flounder.
But isn't that cool to have somebody like Pam to be able to finish what you
Oh,
think about?
Absolutely.
I mean,
The day
that's-
she left us is the day that I cried myself to sleep. at night.
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, I would too, because it's beautiful to have a dream, a creativity, and then somebody makes it.
Chef, it's time to talk about what we're having as the main course of our Memorial Day picnic, and then we'll come back in the next segment and fill in with sides as we go around it. And earlier in the show, I told you I was doing evening magazine shoots.
Yeah.
I call it evening magazine. It's called Evening
Yes, that's
at my
okay.
house. And the second one I did was a flank steak. I had gotten a Mishima Reserve flank steak
Yeah.
at the Ballard Market.
Yeah.
And I'm surprised that it's out there kind of in grocery now,
Right.
where it used to be a real specialized meat. Mishima Reserve is owned by Beecher's Cheese.
Sure, sure.
And so anyway, I bought it because I saw it, and why not? And put it in the freezer. Yesterday I did my show. I pulled it out, pounded it out after it thawed. I pounded it out and just did a simple salt and pepper grill on it. But here's the little trick I did, and this would work for your Memorial Day picnic. At the cheese shop I was at, they had these soft ripened annatto seed colored soupy cheeses.
What's a soupy cheese?
You know, like a poisse.
Oh yeah.
like- or
Oh, you mean
Montour,
like
like
really ripe?
When you cut the top off,
Oh
you
my God,
actually
yeah.
spoon the.
Yeah.
Well, the cheeses were overripe, and so they had them on sale half price.
Perfect.
So I had put this in my fridge, and I'm thinking flank steak, cheese. I love a good cheesesteak. So I cooked the flank steak. I made a salsa verde. All the fresh herbs at Prosser Farm are all sprouted. Garlic
Sure.
chives, tarragon, everything's ready to go. I made a little salsa verde. But after I cooked the flank, rare, I drizzled the cheese, the soft ripened cheese over the top. You know, flank is pretty lean generally.
Of course.
Just drizzled that soupy cheese over the top. Oh my God, it was a revelation. And so I'm thinking Memorial Day picnic, what a great way. If you've got a little hot dog bun or something like that, and you want a little homemade cheesesteak, you just simply do that flank steak with the cheese on the top.
So you'd have to have a barbecue because you'd grill it on the spot, right?
Well, it would
You
be
couldn't
fine
do it
room
ahead.
temperature. You don't want to chill it,
Right. You don't want to
but
get
you
it
could
cold.
do it room temperature.
Yeah. Room temp would be fine.
Oh, chef,
Yeah,
have you
no,
ever?
I
have
can-
you ever?
No, but that sounds super delicious.
It's just put my big soup spoon in there and drizzle the warm cheese over the top. Are you kidding me?
Oh my God.
Who needs a cheese sauce when you got a great little? So it was an Italian 3-milk cheese, and I can't remember the name of it now. So
That's
anyway.
okay. It
was
sounds
half
delicious.
price.
And
Pam,
I think this time of year, if I'm gonna go on a picnic, I'm gonna go with salmon. I mean, salmon just came out, the Copper River especially. I'm gonna poach it ahead of time and make it cold to go like a style of, and we'll talk in the next segment about all the garnishes, but to go like an Niçoise salad idea where I don't want to work hard when I'm at the beach or at the wherever I am going for the picnic. I don't want to work that hard. I want to have everything ready. Plus, more importantly, I want everything tasty. So the marinated potatoes, make sure that everything is marinated in the dressing ahead of time so it's got flavor, not the last minute and everything is like, dry on your mouth. So I want to make sure that I have all that taken care of. And the salmon, if you poach it the day before and you keep it in your refrigerator and you can just put it out just like you would a canned tuna, but it just comes apart really nicely to make a wonderful salad. Bring the lettuce with you, and then that's the only thing you season, a big giant bowl. Bring the lettuce, season everything on the spot, and you get a wonderful salmon niçoise.
lovely.
Tell me about the poaching.
So the poaching would be, you could use white wine and water, or you could use just white wine, or you could use fish stock if you have any, like I do.
Mhm.
I happen to have my halibut bones fish stock that I made a few months ago and put a bunch of containers in the freezer. I would use that and I would bring it to a boil. I would put probably a few seeds of coriander, black peppercorn, just something to season even more the fumé. And as soon as it comes to a boil, I would just turn it down, put my salmon in there and turn the fire off and let the salmon be poached very gently into that fumé. And a few hours later, I would put it out of there and it would be totally beautiful and cooked.
Hours? No.
Well,
But because it's
sure, but you can also put it in the fridge in that fish stock.
right. That's
and
what I would
chill
do.
the whole thing together.
Yeah.
After it's cooked, you mean?
Yeah,
Or
after
to
it's
not marinating it in the
While it's in the stock.
while it's in the stock.
Because
So
you can't really overcook it. If you turn off the fire, and I mean, remember, Copper River is not thin salmon; it's pretty thick. You put, if you put a piece like a 2-pound piece in the middle of that fumet is going to cool down pretty quickly, and then you put the rest in the fridge. But tomorrow,
So, Chef, let's take some of the guesswork out of it, though, for Pam. And if you were to put an instant read thermometer in that fish, you're putting it into a stock that is at simmer. So it's at about 210 degrees.
Right.
You're putting your fish into that. It's going to naturally bring the temperature down.
Right.
If it's literally a Copper River King,
Yeah.
you're going to be 1.5 inches thick.
Correct.
So you're going to have to cook it a little bit.
Yeah, but it's going to
Unlike a sockeye, which is only a 1/2 inch to 3/4 inch thick, it would cook just in that broth.
I think it will cook if you leave it in that broth. I think it will cook enough. I mean,
But if
You know-
let's just say you don't
Okay,
want raw fish
so
out on your picnic.
here's the explanation. Wait till your salmon is about 100 and you're going to look at 120, 125. If it's 125 and your broth still has a little bit of heat, just leave it in there.
Yeah.
It will be fine.
If it's still cooking though,
Right.
you got to pull it out for a minute and then let it rest in the broth.
Yeah.
Or pull it at 110, 115 and let the broth finish the
Right.
job. So it's just sometimes it's hard because you have a sense, and a lot of people at home don't have that same sense. So you got to
Correct.
give them a little bit. In my mind, that's what thermometers are for, is right?
Right.
You take some of the guesswork out of
True.
your cooking, and whether you're cooking a steak,
You pick in the middle of the thickest place of the salmon. If you're reading 125, you're plenty fine.
plenty fine.
Plenty
Thank
fine.
you.
And it's more where you like it. You like
Yeah.
it medium, as do I. If I want raw fish, I want sashimi.
Right. I don't want it
if I
raw. I
want-
don't want it raw. I'm not looking for raw.
Yeah.
But what you're looking for is something that's going to be, and by leaving it in the stock, you get that moisture stay with the fish. And the next morning, you will also discover the gelatin that will be from the fish into the stock. So your stock will be more gelatinous. You
All
can-
right. So
and you
now
can
we
use
have
that.
ribs, we have chicken wings, we've got flank steak, we've got salmon. Let's make some sides when we come back to go
Sure.
with our Memorial Day picnic. On Cairo Radio, it's the Hot Stove Society Show, 97.3 FM. Hey, Shonda Torrey, why is it that whenever I hear anyone talking about the radio show, they don't talk about Chef Thierry and Tom? They talk about the cool music that's on the show. Dude.
Have you guys do you listen to the podcast or the radio? Yeah. Oh, okay. Because our editor at Cairo has just been putting the most fun music in between segments. I just burst out laughing. It's so good.
There's a shocker. I'm only jealous. I would like to burst out laughing more.
Yeah.
I think
I'll help you.
I think it's a flaw of mine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're going to work on that in your creative retirement.
All right, here we go. We're going to finish Memorial Day. Chef, you're invited to my Memorial Day picnic.
Thank you.
It'll be in Scotland.
Oh my God.
It'll be in Scotland.
I better get going now.
And that's quite a long flight from Hawaii. So,
Oh my God. Yes.
Pamela, where are you celebrating Memorial Day?
Golden Gardens.
Golden Gardens. All
I want to
right.
do a drum circle.
Of course you are. And like a 100-day gong. You're going to start 100 days in advance. But
Yeah.
since we don't have 100 days, there you go. There it is. The beginning of our 100-day gong. When is that up? Sometime the end of July or August, maybe, something like that.
We'll be here.
Pamela, you heard a bunch of different proteins that we talked about. What are you going to serve so that we can fill in with some sides?
Lamb burgers.
That's nothing that we mentioned.
The only thing we didn't say.
Okay, so we got lamb burgers. Are they on a bun or are they salad?
No, they're going to be on the sides.
So
No
wherever
bread.
you're going, you're expecting to have a grill, number one.
Yeah.
Which is presumptuous.
Although I saw this new portable gas Weber that you just carry like a suitcase, and I'm thinking
Gas
buying.
Webers in my friends' households.
Okay.
Um,
I'm going to
what
chop
kind of-
down
are you
a
gonna put
tree.
cheese on this grill?
No,
On this lamb?
no. don't
No
put cheese.
cheese?
You don't put cheese on lamb.
No, you don't.
You guys
Don't put
whatever.
cheese
What
on-
about feta? People do feta on lamb all the time.
Oh, that is
yeah,
a classic.
it's a so we got a lamb burger, blah blah blah. Chef, what are you going to add as a side dish
I'm gonna do-
that's going to wow somebody? Don't come into me with macaroni salad now.
No,
I
no,
know
no,
that's
no,
your
no,
I
no,
know that's
no.
your favorite.
You're assuming that's the last thing I would do in my salad. Actually, I would never think of that. I'm gonna do a couscous salad
Oh, okay.
with some roasted peppers and
It's
some
pasta, the same thing. Mac salad, couscous. They're both
Oh,
pasta.
okay. Let's be technical here.
Okay.
I got beautiful saffron couscous. I pre-cooked already. It's cold. I'm gonna throw in some onions, some peppers, some.
Oh, wait. Pam, do you eat raw onions and peppers?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
She doesn't have a
It's
choice.
her picnic. It's her lamb burger.
Yeah, she's bringing the burgers. I'm bringing the side dish.
Okay. All right.
I mean, you don't like it? Mint, olive oil, lots of olives, all these things mixed together. So it makes a wonderful salad.
Mhm.
And then I think that would be a nice garnish to a beautiful lamb burger.
I
But
think so too. And I'm going to bring asparagus, the big fat Yakima asparagus. I
Yeah.
had it the other day again, my third time already. So good this year. I peel the ends so that they're not tough, and then I'm going to make a harissa aioli out of it.
I
So
was
just a
just
nice garlicky
Nice.
aioli.
was-
But here's the trick: there's a type of harissa out there. You hear Terry talk about it, but I like the rose hip harissa.
Oh, yeah.
I just love the fragrance of it, and it's the same kind of hot chili paste, but it's got rose hips, ground rose hips in it, and it's you can find it in many markets. Probably not your typical grocery store, but any sort of Mediterranean market probably would have that. So,
Yeah,
And in-
De Laurentiis carries
De
one.
Laurentiis does.
And,
But
I-
I didn't buy it. It looked weird.
because you made way too much harissa aioli, I'm going to use some of that. I'm going to have some hard-boiled eggs, and I'm going to take the yolk and mix in that
Ah.
harissa, pipe it back in, and we can have some deviled harissa aioli eggs
Mhm.
for, as a side dish to the couscous and the lamb burger.
Well, since you're making everything the same flavor now on our picnic, I'm going to have to jump out and do something a little bit different. I'm going to take this is a South Philly tradition, right? Where you take green bell peppers and you layer them with hot chili paste. I mean, I'm talking not harissa. Harissa can be hot, but it's not typically super hot. But this is just like sambal, hot chili paste.
Really hot.
Or just dried cascabal chilies
Okay.
flakes. Layer them together with the green peppers, put a weight on top, and let the pepper cure the green pepper.
What?
Let the red hot pepper.
So you better
cure-
start today.
Yeah, you got to start today. It takes a week, maybe at
Yeah.
the most. And they are blisteringly hot, but so flavorful and delicious. So that's my idea to go on top of your lamb burger.
Yeah, no,
don't,
that
don't
would be
look
good.
scared. You should be scared, actually.
And because we'll talk about pickle in a different segment today, I won't talk about it, but a few pickle,
This is not a quick pickle.
a little quick pickle vegetable on top of your burger would be also very delicious. Thinking carrots right off the bat, because pickled carrots goes really well with grilled meat. I think it's a good example of how you can use pickled vegetables.
Pam, last night at our supper, we had a green chickpea hummus. Would you bring something like that to your picnic with your lamb burgers?
Oh yeah, I think that would be lovely. But what I'm really craving is a crunchy, high citric slaw, and I love Napa cabbage
Mhm.
more. Little lighter weight. But a really popular recipe that's circulating for the holiday is lime cilantro.
I was
Uh-huh.
going to say lime
Slaw.
and grapefruit.
Yeah. Oh, grapefruit. That is
Yeah.
a great idea.
Lime
And
and
I also
grapefruit.
like. It was popular decades ago, but I like a broccoli slaw too, where you can use up your stems and you grate them, and it's got more weight to it than the Napa cabbage.
Yeah.
But anything that you can put lime, grapefruit's
Coconut.
brilliant.
You can put lime in the coconut. So they say.
Oh, could you sing the song for us?
So now there's a lot of people out there, Pamela, that don't eat lamb. And I know you're going to invite
Yeah.
them anyway because you're that type of person.
So you could go
They're
rabbit.
either vegetarian or they only eat corn dogs.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
So,
last
My,
week,
my wife, as you know, loves a good corn dog.
I know. Eric Tanaka, your partner, he did these beautiful skewers of the
Halloumi?
purple sweet potatoes.
Mhm.
that were wonderful on the grill, and he alternated them with some mushrooms.
And they caramelize
They
beautifully.
really did.
Yeah.
It had that soft center and a nice crunch. I don't know. Would you just brush them with oil? It
Yeah.
had something on them.
Yeah. I'm going to do the same so that's a vegetarian thing. You can match that up with halloumi and figs, where you just
Yeah.
skewer halloumi chunks with figs. We poach the figs in, say, Greek red wine, or to get them softened up. Because if you put them on dried, they just become little rocks on the
Yeah.
grill. So,
Yeah, they dry
but
up.
if you poach them gently, so that they're just softened but not fall apart, they work beautifully on a skewer.
Mm.
And in the spirit of the holiday, because this is the time to remember the people who have served
Mm-hmm.
United States. There's also a version of making a flag cake with layers of strawberries and blueberries in between to get the red, white, and blue. And I think some remembrance, as corny as that might sound, might be
No, it's good.
appropriate.
Sounds good and delicious.
Great
It's
idea.
just not the season, though. That's the problem. Or you might get a strawberry, but you're not going to get blueberries yet. So, what could we substitute? I guess frozen berries would.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can use
Fun,
frozen
yeah.
blueberry and raspberries.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So we're
Let's do
having like a little sheet cake for
Yep.
dessert.
You could make a trifle. That would be good because that would go better with the frozen
Oh,
stuff.
that's a good idea.
That would work better with the frozen
And
fruits.
More portable too. You
Yeah.
could-
Looks cool through that glass.
So we've got lamb burgers with some sort of. I guess the Greeks don't eat cheese apparently. Some sort of nothing.
Don't tell the feta producers.
I know exactly.
the Greeks don't eat cheese.
How are you going to season your lamb burgers? Are you just going to use your classic fennel and garlic rub?
Veggie rub.
Veggie
Saves
rub?
it
Sounds
every
really
time.
good.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's why they call it veggie because it goes on burger.
The other
I
thing
love
you
that.
left out of this, which is still around and delicious at the moment, which is either artichokes
Oh.
or fennel.
Yeah,
Both
fennel.
are really, artichokes are just probably by Memorial Day, they're kind of be ending the season. You might get into the middle of June.
What would
Uh,
you do with the fennel? I'm more inclined towards that.
I would make a relish for the burger. I would
Yeah.
caramelize it and just make this nice. You know how we do that with onions, browned onions? You can do the same with fennel or even a combination of, because sometimes a lot of browned onions like that are overwhelming.
Yeah,
Whereas the
absolutely.
fennel gets licoricey and bright and tasty.
You
Or
could pickle
really
them.
thin. I like it crispy. I like it raw better.
You like it raw better than cooked? Have
Yeah,
you
you
ever had
could-
it cooked?
You know, exactly. Have you had that cooked?
Yeah.
Good.
You could marinate it in lemon or lime, like we were talking about earlier. Still part of a salad. If you marinate hot vegetable the day before, they tenderize and they really pick up the flavor. So you could do that. A little lemon, olive oil. You could even put a little heat in there, a little harissa if you want to. That would really part with the fennel, and everything would stay. It's still crunchy, but it has a very tenderness to it. So
Good
Good.
idea. And to drink, sparkling lemonade,
I would
a
do some-
spritzer,
I do some.
sweet tea.
Not sweet tea.
I do some infusion tea from Smith. I've been drinking that tea. That's really delicious. It's not a tea; it's an infusion. And
An
you
herbal,
do it.
like a tisane.
It's called something night, like I want to say sweet night or something like that. Really beautiful mix of gorgeous herbal and flowers, and you make that cold with a little bit of honey and bring that to your picnic and you would put that on ice and
Put it right next to the big bottle of ouzo. That's right next to the sizzle platter over the charcoal grill that's full of scarmoza. And
This
then
is
once
what you
once
drink
the
at-
cheese is melted, you just
This-
hit it with some
this is
ouzo.
what you drink at 5 p.m. when the sun is really hitting hard. But after that, you start drinking the pastis and bring it out.
I know. So what I know the French call it with the balls.
Oh, pétanque. Yeah, you're
Pétanque.
paying
I don't know what
pétanque.
the Greeks call it, but we would have to play pétanque and drink ouzo.
Yeah,
I'm in.
Seems to me.
yeah, exactly.
Okay, what a lovely picnic. Thank you for inviting us, Pamela.
Yeah.
That was
I can't
really,
wait to see
really
you.
fun. Can't wait to bring my little project. A jaunty snap of a quick pickle, like fennel, maybe. Up
Mhm.
next on Cairo Radio, it's the Hot Stove Society Show, 97.3 FM.
Oh, Bridget's got breakfast out. Looks pretty promising. Is that okay for everybody? We haven't gotten organized enough to ask about dietary restrictions before breakfast. So Smells wonderful. Thank you, Bridget. Nice work. Have any of you taken a class with Bridget? She's such a good teacher.
She's an awesome teacher.
Yeah. Yeah.
Garbage. Very
Nothing-
fa- very famous.
nothing
in
green?
Russia. Oh, it's bean, mac salad, hamburger patty.
That one's
cheese,
got, oh,
chili over the top of
I'm
everything.
gonna, are you
And white
teaching
bread.
the paella one?
Hot dogs. They call it the garbage plate. Very well known.
Yeah.
Why? Come on.
We've got to- I've got to
Wow.
remember
It's
to
America.
tell her we've
It's
got
not like they
to
can
teach
afford to
Charlie
freaking buy something better.
Oh, they're just showing it because it's from Rochester. The players aren't eating that.
Oh, okay.
Fabulous.
They're a little spicy.
What? What are?
Spanish.
I don't find them spicy.
Well, they do have a little kick.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, you guys are weenies.
No, they are.
Chef
winning.
Terry is a spice weenie. We know that.
Yeah, but I still eat it and I love it, but it's got a little kick.
Really?
Maybe today. Thank
Oh,
you.
Hinkley.
I know.
Hinkley had a very light supper last night. What did you start with?
What did I start
Eggplant, and then she had ceviche for her entree.
with? That's nice.
Actually, I had the
I ate it
idea
off
to
of
thank you,
everybody's
Bridget.
plate.
I have my scale was really good to me this morning.
Oh, good. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Just and when you're in Hawaii, it's so much easier to eat lighter, except for the macadamia cookies.
No, that doesn't even.
You don't like those?
I mean, not as much as like I wouldn't be hooked on those. The only cookie I get hooked on, there's a couple. The graham cracker is a bit.
The Kona coffee cookies are my
So I don't buy
Yeah.
them. So I don't buy them. You know, one secret of not eating cookies or ice cream:
Not buying it.
don't bring it in the house. It's much easier when you go to the freezer and go, shit, have any ice cream?
Oh, should I defrost some peas?
And you go, and you go, should I make some fresh crème anglaise? And unfortunately, I do have the ingredients for that. But I'm not. Kathy is an ice cream fiend. I'm not. I don't. It doesn't bother me.
I've been trying to buy different local ones lately, and they all seem a little gummy. And I had the Acme last week, and I noticed that they use some sort of naturally occurring gum projects. Like, why
Yeah, for
does
the-
ice cream need that?
Well,
Because it's,
Haagen-Dazs doesn't. So you get that cream melt, whereas Tillamook does. You
Yeah,
get that kind of
glue melt.
gluey kind of melt. Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't like it. That's why I don't buy Tillamook at all.
and the answer is
Chef Brigitte,
You
what's
don't
on our
have to.
plate here?
Lovely tortilla espanol with potatoes, a little bit of garlic, onions,
And
and
eggs.
a little bit of your smoked paprika rub. And then is the what is that?
Ruby
Spanish?
chard.
The ruby chard, sauteed with a little bit of garlic. So I cook the stems separately and sauteed those, and then lowered the heat with a little garlic, and just let those simmer until they got soft. And then I flash super hot sauteed greens, just to get them to collapse, and then piled the stems on top. And then Tom's taco spice across the top.
And then little Spanish chorizo.
Yeah, and I don't know what that brand is, but the chorizo is from Spain, and you can get it in the prosciutto kind of deli section of the grocery store.
If you look at the package, I think it's actually from Jersey.
Is it? No, they're the importers. No, they make it. It's really good.
Tom and Terry, Lisa Evans entered our first staycation contest and
Nice.
was here because we gave her tickets to come to.
wow.
Very good.
Very good.
Thank you for playing.
The hotel's nice, isn't it? Yeah.
Well, she didn't stay in the whole hotel. She wasn't the top winner.
Oh,
But okay, thank you. Oh, you already invited him, smarty pants.
Yeah.
I'll have,
I don't know what's going on here, so
yeah,
I'm just going to move on with the show.
nice. There was the one person who stayed at the hotel, but the other people just got tickets to the show.
Oh, I see.
One ticket to the show.
So worth it.
See all those TikTok video about one ticket to the moon. What's that song?
Is the coffee out?
Ticket to the
No.
moon.
All right, can we?
No, she did decaf.
It's my decaf stash, Tom.
I guess. Well, it wouldn't make sense, would it, now, to have half decaf?
I like when it's only 50%. I like when it's 50% decaf. I want the left side of my cup to be decaf because I like it that way. Half calf, half decaf. That would be funny. If people actually do that, no. Half calf, half decaf. What's the purpose of that? Oh, really? No. Coffee?
When I drink more than 2 cups of coffee, it puts me to sleep.
I used to be. There was a time when I could have a triple espresso and go to bed and sleep. I've seen that. That's not anymore. But
All right, here we go. Welcome back for the final segment of our first hour of the Hot Stove Society show on Cairo. We're thrilled that you're joining us. Hopefully you're out there in the garden or having a nice Memorial Day picnic with all the suggestions that we've made for you. My name is Tom Douglas, and I'm happy to be here, owner of this lovely facility, the Hot Stove Society in the Hotel Andra.
and I'm Thierry Rotiro, the chef in the hack. Happy to be here every Friday.
Yeah. Chef, you're eating your nice breakfast that comes with
Fabulous,
the ticket.
fabulous
But I didn't
breakfast.
remember seeing you buy a ticket, and yet you still got breakfast.
I know. You know what I heard? Just show up.
Just show up. I see how it is. Pamela, you enjoy the jaunty snap of a quick pickle. You are enamored with this subject because
Yes, I am.
you like vinegars.
I love
You're a shrub
vinegar.
gal, if
Yeah.
if I know you well enough. Do you
And
have
I
a
love cucumbers.
you love cucumbers in a quick pickle?
Yeah. Well, I
I
want.
mean, that's the easiest thing to quick pickle. is
That's what I
cucumber.
want to learn how to do, and I just saw this recipe for a sesame ginger cucumber,
Uh-huh.
and I said that's right up my alley. I haven't made it yet.
So I think the key there is because when you start adding sesame or sesame oil to a pickle, you are identifying kind of a type of cuisine that you're having for dinner.
Right.
Yeah.
Right?
You're having
Don't you think,
Japanese food
Chef?
for sure. Yeah.
You're having something of that nature. So that to me is what are you going to have with that pickle? Is that with a nice piece of steamed fish? Because that would be one of the things I would think about with that lovely little pickle is just a beautifully steamed. I have a bamboo steamer, beautifully steamed piece of salmon or halibut or black
Yeah.
cod or something of that nature. Yeah.
And some buckwheat noodles.
And some buckwheat noodles. Soba.
Soy.
Soba,
Look
yeah.
at the
Soda.
smile on her face.
Yeah.
What's with the buckwheat noodles?
Oh, he's so delicious. But
I know.
what I was trying to think about for this segment was each person having their own signature quick pickle that they made as a hostess gift.
Uh-huh.
So that, Tom had his, Terry had his, and like when you go to someone's house, you could bring them this beautiful jar of a pickle that you made. So they'd have this customized condiment in their refrigerator, and they would remember you with fondness.
So, I always use the 3-2-1 basis of pickling, which is basically a sweet and sour recipe. It's 3 waters, 2 vinegar. 3 water, 2 sugar, 1 vinegar. So those are the portions. If you do 3 cup, 2 cup, 1 cup. Now you can take that recipe and change it as you want, more vinegar, less sugar, because the 2 components that are mostly highlighted are sugar and water. Sugar and pickle, vinegar. So you can interchange those 2 by you know, lowering down the sugar, hiring the vinegar. So now you have a much more stringent vinegary kind of pickle. The rest to that, and you have to think about that, is to add spices to it or herbs or whatever you're gonna do. So right now in the backyard, there is galore chives, blossom and chives. So you take that and you whack a bunch of it and you put it into your. So you bring that whole bunch of liquids to a boil, then you turn off the fire, then you put in all your herbs in there, because your herbs don't need as much time.
Right. They would be
So you
finishing.
put you put all your chives in there. Maybe you could do a tarragon one, a chives one, which are the herbs that are in the garden right now. And you could, as the roses come out, we were talking about rose hips earlier. Rose hips are delicious in pickle as well. You put
So are
them,
the blossoms. So
Yeah.
are the petals. Yeah.
yeah, the petals. Yeah, you put
Just have
them
to
in
make
there.
sure they haven't been pesticided out.
Well, not in your garden, not fully.
Well,
but-
some people do.
Oh yeah, but there's nothing like that in my garden. So, we use those, and all kind of blossom that comes up. So now you have a few selection of pickle, of pickling juice that's ready to go, and you can choose what you're gonna go and put in there.
Chef, let's go back a minute because your combination of ingredients, and I know you say they're adjustable. You say 3, 2, 1, 3 water, 2 sugar, 1 vinegar.
Correct.
I never use water, and I will say that one of the reasons that like if you're pickling cucumbers, there's so much water in cucumbers. They water out immediately. That I just don't understand the quantity of water that you're
Well,
using.
it's
What is its use?
It's a diluting purpose.
Just to dilute the vinegar.
Yeah, just to dilute the vinegar and the
Uh-huh.
sugar, both of them in terms of strength. So again, you can adjust that and go.
Yeah, I know. But adjusting for me is leaving out 3 cups of a 5-cup.
You
batch.
you definitely will have to change that to your vinegar and your sugar being much
Uh-huh.
higher in volume.
That's interesting because I just don't understand the water.
It's a
side of that.
mild. My version of that is a very mild pickle. Now,
Right.
you were talking about cucumber, like when you go often when you go to a Japanese restaurant, it's the first thing they give you: toasted sesame and cucumber that's been pickled. It's a very quick pickle. It's thinly sliced cucumber, very thinly pickled.
I mean, probably that evening. It only takes 5 minutes. On
Yeah, or
something.
maybe
Yeah.
even not that far
Yeah.
away. And it pickles very quickly. Thin cucumbers are, like Tom said, all water, so it pickles very quickly. There's not much resistance to any acids. And on top of that, all you have to do is just toss in the toasted sesame seeds right on top. You get this wonderful.
Yeah, it makes more sense to me to put the sesame at the end. In the recipes I read, the water was usually to dissolve your solids, your salt and your sugar.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
Which
I mean,
is
I
fine.
guess
I'm just saying
vinegar would do
they
that.
dissolve in the vinegar too. So
Yeah.
typically vinegar is most commonly 5% astringent. It's just not a super strong to begin with. So I think another interesting thing about quick pickling is the combination of vegetables that you use. We talked about fennel. You can easily make a quick pickle out of fennel, but it's a boring looking pickle if you don't do something with it, right? So your chive blossoms
Saffron.
would work. Yeah, I don't necessarily just want yellow fennel. I'm saying, use fennel, then sliver a little Fresno pepper, or which is a red kind of ripe jalapeno looking pepper. Just put slivers of this in there, so a sliver of green onion. So now you have the dark green, the red, and the blonde fennel. So that to me is part of what makes a quick pickle more interesting on the visual palette.
Sure.
What's a pickle that's not a quick pickle? Is there a long pickle?
Sure. So any canned pickle.
Well, like
is
if you
like a
do
dill
dill.
pickle or
Oh, okay. I didn't
quick
get
is
that.
non-canned essentially.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Quick pickle is something you can actually make enough and serve within the hour. I mean, depends on what you're pickling, but most of the vegetables and fruits you're gonna pickle. Oh yeah, fruits too, by the way.
Yeah.
Fruit.
Pickled
Berries.
cherries. Pickled cherries are very
Pickled
common.
cherries.
Yeah.
Coming up in season, strawberries do really well, especially green strawberries. We started eating green strawberries, which is whatever it is, not exactly my flavor, but
Yeah,
I like
me
green.
neither. But
I like red strawberries.
I think John Sundstrom made those popular. I think I never
He
was
did.
a green strawberry guy.
No, I'm not. It's
I don't know if
mostly-
you remember last night on the menu at 8 Row. I thought it was cute. They had a pickle plate, but it was called the unseasonable, unseasoned,
Oh, I didn't see that.
Unseasonal.
not unseasoned pickle plate. or something.
Unseasonal.
unseasonal pickle plate. I thought that was cute because they were just using things that they were trying to preserve as they moved forward.
Right.
The one thing I was surprised last night, I thought about it after I got home, was such a vegetable forward menu there at 8 Row. There wasn't an asparagus on the menu, was there?
I didn't see one.
It's the middle of asparagus season. I just thought it was kind of funny that because there was so many good turnips and
So many vegetables.
we just
so many farms.
thinned the turnips at Prosser Farm and we sauteed. You did all
Sure.
tiny little turnips with the greens. We just thinned them and then sauteed those up the other night for dinner. Oh, so good.
In brown butter, that stuff is
Oh yeah,
killer.
it's killer.
Oh.
Okay, let's jump into hour number 2 when we come back. It's Tom Douglas, Terry Rotaro, Pamela Hinckley, and Sean McFadden right here in the kitchen at Hot Stove 97.3 FM.
And it looks like Emily, right? And Heather. Yes. I'm Pamela. Thanks for coming. These are our lovely guests. Hello. And I think I told you we're also broadcasting on YouTube. So I baked off one of the cookies. So we'll bring you up to the mic. And it's Tom and Terry are very fun. But they, I made some notes for them, but I don't know if they know that it has to be in your operation. Okay, love it. This is Sean, Michael. I think I'll just have her put on mine. Okay. I'll get out of the way.
Hi, I'm Sean.
Hi, Heather.
Cheers. Nice to meet
Nice
you.
to meet you.
For this, you just want to be kind of close to the mic, about an inch or two
Okay,
away.
cool. That sounds good.
And
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm Thierry.
Hi.
Oh.
Nice to meet you, Heather.
Heather, nice to meet you.
Heather,
brought props.
good.
Wow.
We'll try to.
I like prop. So you ship the actual, you ship this or you ship the cake? Oh, cool. Great idea. So we're live on YouTube. I don't know if did you tell them that, Sean?
Yeah.
We're live on YouTube. The
One's up
camera.
there, and one's right here.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Delish.
Pretty.
No. No.
So Pam, what do you see as the natural breakdown in segments here? Talk about the mission and then talk about the product.
How do I get my head out of there? Out of the the camera. Should I just?
Here, just pull your mic over as far as it goes.
To the back of my head.
How you feeling now?
Great.
What's the order? Would you like to?
Yeah.
Just so you know, you're on the other camera.
Let's have them tell you.
The mission.
I think we start with the mission and why we started the pastry project, and then we can talk about other fun things that we do at the pastry project.
All right. So
Yeah.
on the second segment, we'll talk about the product line
Yep.
and blah blah blah, and let's talk about the mission for the first. Then you need to get up right here. You hear the
Here we
difference
go.
in my voice there?
Let's do it.
All right.
Testing. Okay.
Yeah, right up.
And remember, we
Sean, can you lift her mic a little bit for her so she's not hunched over?
Awesome. Thank
Oh,
you.
yeah. Oh, she did?
So who did?
I know.
Last year.
Hannah Johannes from Chikorina Pastries. She was one of our first graduates from the
Is
program.
that the fluffy cheesecake lady?
No, that's the Union right next to Communion.
Oh,
The
okay.
bakery. Yeah.
What's the name of pastry shop again?
Chikorina.
Chikorina.
I have no recollection of that.
And Terry discovered it, so Jackie and I went and bought a
Time to go back.
Yeah.
A year later.
All right, we're back here in the Seattle kitchen. Let's do that again. We're back here in the hot stove. Sean DeTore, can you fix that for me? All right, we're back here in the hot stove kitchen in downtown Seattle, 4th and Virginia. Come join us sometime. We hope you're out having fun this Memorial Day weekend. We're going to welcome into our kitchen. Well, I first should tell you that we have another full hour of deliciousness coming your way, including a food for thought tasty trivia. And
I wonder if we're gonna die again this week. I wonder if we're gonna get killed.
no way. Two
No
weeks
way?
in a row?
Not
No,
this
no
week, no.
way. We're also going to talk sushi for a segment here when we're later in the show. But first, we're going to welcome in the founders of the Pastry Project, Emily Kim and Heather Hodge. They're going to join us for a couple of segments and talk about their mission, their deliciousness that they've brought us. You know, you guys, we always trash the people that come on our show and don't bring us any treats. You guys have gone over the top
Yeah.
with treats.
You can come back anytime.
Good.
And Pamela herself baked these cookies from the pucks. Back-breaking. I would have sworn I saw Chef Bridget do it, and you taking all the credit for it. Yeah. Anyway, tell us about your mission, the whole project that you have going on. It sounds exciting. It sounds like a marriage of a couple of different things, like anything from what I call common meals, but it's called Fair Start now, to the Hot Stove Society, a cooking school. So you've got a little hybrid all in between.
Yeah, so we started the Pastry Project back in 2019 with the mission of making baking and pastry education more accessible to individuals, especially individuals seeking a job in the baking and pastry industry. And so that's really how our mission started, was creating that curriculum and that program that is an intensive program that students come and take. And after those 14 weeks, they graduate, and we support them with job placement in the industry.
So the job placement is the easiest part of that, is my guess.
Yeah.
God.
I mean,
So
these days it's pretty good.
Yeah.
In our industry, it is definitely a lack. There is a lack of pastry people trained in pastry program. That is definitely something that we lack, for sure. You can find top pastry chef coming from certain place around the country, but to find pastry cook, it's very difficult. Most people have a cooking training, but they don't have a pastry training, and it's very. Thank you for doing that.
Yeah, absolutely. No, and we completely agree that baking and pastry training is more challenging to come by, and there's less programs out there, and there are no programs that we know of in Seattle that are free. And so we created one that was totally free. And this program is absolutely free to our students. And in addition to that, we provide a transit stipend, childcare stipend, a program support stipend, just so that if there's anything that a student needs to help them make it to class during those 14 weeks, they are supported in that way.
So let's start from the beginning. You're a nonprofit?
So we are not a nonprofit. We thought about becoming a nonprofit in the very beginning, but we actually ended up incorporating as a social purpose corporation. So we are a business. We always knew that we wanted to be as self-sustaining as we could be. And we're super creative people. We love pastries. We knew we were going to create products eventually and be able to sell them to raise the money ourselves to support everything that we do in our kitchen. So that's what we're doing. So we have a lot of different ways that we earn revenue. As you mentioned, we do public facing classes. We have our cookie dough line and our pastry kit subscription, which we're going to get into later. But we really just wanted the freedom to build the program the way that we wanted to build it, build our business the way that we wanted to build it, be able to be flexible and creative and just have fun with it as well. And also prove to other businesses that you can have a totally mission-driven social impact program within your business that you can give back to the community and also have a profitable business as well.
Bravo to you.
Yeah.
Very, very good model.
You know, the term the cathedral within was kind of talked about by Bill Shore of Share Our Strength, which is the same idea for a lot of nonprofits. Fair Start does it with their lunches and dinners, and but they also live on grants. You know, that's really their big revenue source. Do you have any sort of grants or Did you guys put up your own seed money to get this going? Because I imagine it took a little effort to get it going.
It definitely took some effort, and we give so much credit to some of our neighborhood partners in Pioneer Square because our location is in Pioneer Square. We have a beautiful workshop education kitchen there, as well as production kitchen. We kind of do it all. And we started our pilot program with a neighborhood grant from the BIA there. And then we were able to get some grant funding through Historic South Downtown to be able to actually build out the space. And so we did start with some grant funding, which we're very, very grateful for. And Emily and I had to work really, really hard to just keep things going and bringing some money in. And we just paid for things as it came. And here we're going to buy this freezer now, and we're going to install these things that we need for the kitchen. And we just went step by step with it and put a lot of, sweat into it, both ourselves and our families and our loved ones that help support us. But we are so grateful to the Pioneer Square neighborhood and those orgs that help keep that neighborhood thriving and beautiful and going up and up from here.
What's the requirement to start the program if I want to go into the program?
Absolutely. So our students come from a lot of different orgs to join us that, Emily, you're so good at talking about this. You go for it.
So when we originally started the program, still to this day, we wanted it to be for anyone that had barriers to opportunity and education and employment in the pastry industry. We just saw there was such a barrier to getting that experience you needed to get that first pastry job. And so we left the barriers pretty broad, and they're still pretty broad today. But some of the kind of specific ones that we run into a lot are, people that are extremely low income, maybe single mothers. We've had a lot of in our program. We've had people coming out of homelessness. We've had people in, transitional housing. We've had people coming out of incarceration, things like that. So it is a wide variety of barriers. And we work with a lot of nonprofits. So we work with around 30 or so nonprofits that we let know when applications are live. And if they're working with people in their programs that they think would be a really good fit for ours, they refer them. So that's how we find a lot of our students as well.
And there's some really key things that are super important to us when candidates are coming our way. So there's a lot of people who are super excited and passionate about baking, but maybe they just want to be a home baker. They want to learn some things. And we get a ton of applicants from individuals who are really excited about baking, but maybe don't want a career in the industry. And for us, we have this really intimate, intensive training program. We only take just a few folks a year that we train and mentor. And so we are looking for individuals who are passionate about baking and pastry and excited about getting a job in the industry and starting a career in the industry. Those are the individuals that we are gearing towards with our program so that we can support those individuals that are looking to create that career and grow a livelihood in the industry.
I think it's super important that second part is possibly somebody who has some entrepreneurial spirit and taking this into a whole, maybe even replicating what you're doing in another city or something of that nature. So when we come back, let's talk a little bit about all these delicious looking cookies that you've brought our way. On Cairo Radio, it's the Hot Stove Society Show, 97.3 FM. All right, we're back. Whoop, ho. That's what I was just going to do here in the next.
I know, that's always keep it fresh. This is awesome.
I don't know if you've read the HR rules lately. You're not allowed to hug.
Those HR need to go take a vacation for a minute. Everybody needs a hug sometime.
Okay? Yeah. All right, we're back with Emily Kim and Heather Hodge. Their project is called the Pastry Project, and it's many things: job training, take and bake cookies, soft serve, and public and private classes. So we talked a little bit about your 501c3 side, which you're not really, but the nonprofit side. tell us how you're making money and how you're creating the cathedral within to continue your mission.
Yeah, so I'll talk about one of the main ways, and Heather's going to talk about one of the other main ways. So we have a really amazing pastry kit subscription. This actually started in the beginning of the pandemic. We wanted people to be able to bake at home, and we, couldn't host classes in person at that time. We were doing a lot of online things, and so we wanted to come up with something that we could ship to people and that they could bake at home. So we have kept that going, and it's super popular, and we're super proud of it. And Heather and the culinary team at the Pastry Project come up with really delicious kits that are all of the dry mixes and ingredients to make a pastry at home. And this month, May, is a strawberry cheesecake. So you're going to get all of the things to make a strawberry compote. You're going to get all of the things to make that cream cheese cake filling and the graham cracker crust. And then you just need a few perishable ingredients like your cream cheese and your butter and things like that. We try to keep it really simple so that you don't have to go out and get a lot of things, or you usually probably have it in your pantry, but we change it up. We keep it fun and seasonal. It's something really fun to do with your kids or your grandkids. We get such great feedback on these kits and how much fun people have making them at home. So
it's a good way for you to try your skill, see if you've
Yeah.
progressed in the pastry section.
It even comes with chef. It comes with a tart shell too.
I know, I saw that.
Yeah.
Well, it's the mold. It doesn't come with a shell. It's just a shell, yeah. Not the,
yeah,
not
the
not
tartlet
mold.
mold.
Yeah,
Mhm.
little tartlet mold. Yep.
So,
That's awesome.
so great project. Like, for example, I have a grandson who loves to cook. This would be a super fun project. He might be a little too young. He's 2, but Hercules is. Last night we were cutting
Rory.
cheese together with a sharp knife, and he was very excited about using the sharp knife. So.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we really wanted, again, this is making learning about baking and pastry and baking at home more accessible. And even at home, it can be a challenge to look at a recipe and say, okay, I have to go get all these things from the store. Then we have to measure. That's always the part, even in classes, that people, and with our kits, that people say, I am so happy that everything is pre-measured for me. And so there's a ton of people out there that just want that first step of baking to be a little bit more easy, and then just also have this fun recipe that's right in front of them that maybe they would have never made before. Like maybe they've never made a cheesecake before. Now it's time to make that cheesecake and see how fun and easy it is to make. And that will hopefully inspire more baking in the future as well.
All right. You also brought 4 packages of the Pastry Project cookie dough. So this one is the butterscotch birthday cookie.
Yes.
Which I just had a bite of. Super good and crunchy and delicious. Are they non-refrigerated?
So those are the displays, but we brought you
okay.
we brought you one of each that are in your freezers right now too.
Oh, okay,
So,
cool.
yeah.
So they in the freezer case.
That's exactly right. So this is a frozen take and bake dough line. And we started this working on this dough line a number of years ago. We have our students, the very, very first method that they learn in our free training program is the creaming method. So they learn how to properly cream and emulsify the ingredients, make sure that we have this nice fluffy batter, then the dry goes in, the chocolate, any inclusions. And that is a very, very first method. And we love this recipe that we have, that we use for the students. And we want our recipes to inspire students to continue baking through being so excited about this thing that they made. And so we decided to take that recipe that our customers had been enjoying over the years and turn it into something that you would have in your freezer and could bake straight from the freezer at home. So you can purchase these this take and bake dough at PCC, as well as through Smith Brothers. And you can also pick it up from our shop in Pioneer Square once a month as well.
Lovely. Hey, Chef, you heard me tease in the beginning because there's some claim here that the Pastry Project has the recipe for the perfect chocolate chip cookie. Are you a chocolate chip cookie fan?
I have become because of you.
Oh, okay.
How many chips is in your cookie is the first question.
What percentage of chocolate? I know we got into this with Hello Robin. What percentage of chocolate is the perfect chocolate chip cookie?
You know, our chocolate chip cookies definitely have a lot of chocolate in it. Yeah, I mean, this
Nobody
is a really,
counts.
yeah, no, exactly. This is a super, super high quality dough. We use really incredible ingredients. We use, I think, like the most chocolate in our chocolate chip cookie. And in addition to that, just because you can bake it at home, I think that that's the thing for us that makes this cookie dough really, really perfect, because you go to a pastry shop and maybe you get a cookie and it's really tasty, but it doesn't feel like that fresh, amazing cookie. Just being able to have this fresh, amazing cookie dough that's baked at home that you get to enjoy 10 minutes after it comes out of the oven is
Still
just
warm. Yeah.
still warm. Like
Yeah.
that's
Gooey.
what's perfect. And we decided to keep that name, the perfect chocolate chip cookie, and use it for that specific cookie that has, it's a brown sugar dough with dark chocolate. It's 70% dark chocolate, milk chocolate. It's sprinkled with flaky sea salt. And so you have to do nothing but put it on a tray and bake it off. And we call it the perfect because it's our perfect. Everyone has their version of a perfect chocolate chip
I
cookie.
like that.
And so it's our
It's your
perfect.
perfect.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
exactly right. And so, it's all based off of opinion, but we love it and we vetted it for years. And so it's our perfect chocolate chip cookie.
How long does it take for someone to graduate?
It's a 14-week program.
14 weeks.
Yes, 14 weeks. And it's an intensive, and our students learn a ton across those 14 weeks. We start with the creaming method, but then we go into quick breads, cakes and fillings, buttercreams, tarts and pies, pâte à choux to make amazing eclairs and cream puffs. Just a ton of things. And then in addition to that, we work on other parts that are really important in the industry, like attendance and professional and effective communication, and those things that are really, really key for keeping a job and having a positive attitude in the workplace, so that maybe you don't know everything, but at least you can go to a job and have a great attitude and be ready to learn some more.
I think it's very important you get that word into the restaurant business, because I think many restaurants could use somebody like that.
Oh, for
Absolutely.
sure. Yeah.
It's often restaurants can't afford to have $100,000 pastry chef, executive pastry chef, whatever, because it's too much for a restaurant. But very often they would love to have a pastry cook.
Absolutely.
And I think that would be a great, great place to be able to move on to from your program.
Before we
really-
before we run out of time, Chef, I think you mentioned somebody that we had on the show as one of their success stories.
Yes, we had Chicolina.
Yes, Hannah
And,
Johannes.
Yeah, she's very awesome. She's on Union, next to a Communion restaurant on 23rd and Union. And she's doing an awesome job. And it's really remarkable what she's doing all by herself. I mean, she's dedicated for sure.
She is such a dedicated individual. And I mean, we saw it so quickly when she was in our very, very first cohort, actually. We saw it so quickly how dedicated and passionate she was. And she just got it in her. She's doing an amazing job. And we are just so excited for her and so excited for, everything she's going to do in her baking and pastry
she's
career.
Awesome. Chicolina is the name of it. If you want to check it out, great place to buy some great cookies or beautiful devil cake too. She makes.
All right. So how do people sign up for your pastry project? I think that you probably said it earlier, but let's say it again.
Yeah. So you can find our pastry kit subscriptions at thepastryproject.co. And you can follow us on Instagram at @thepastryproject_. And we link a lot of things in our Instagram profile as well. And yeah, those are kind of the main ways. You can stop by our shop front in Pioneer Square. It's on Main between 2nd and 1st.
165 South Main.
Yeah.
That's the exact
All
address.
right. Go and say hi to Emily and Kim. No, it's not Emily and Kim. It's Emily Kim. Go and say hi to Emily and Heather down at the Pastry Project. I plan on it myself. Chef, you and I should make a
Congratulations. I will
little
Thank you.
definitely
Thank
come
you
field
by.
so
trip.
much.
Can we take a radio field trip down there?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, please.
We'd love
All
to
right.
have you.
Yeah.
When we come back, it's time for limitless fun of sushi at home on Cairo Radio 97.3 FM.
Thank you
Nice
so
job,
much.
ladies.
Thank you.
All the best.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Can
Thank you for having us.
Sean take a picture of you on the stage?
Of course.
With your beautiful packaging.
Great ideas. Oh, thank you. Chocolate chip cookie.
You gotta go back behind him.
There we go.
And
Let's
be
do this.
Be with him. Be with him.
Get online and sign me up right now, Pam.
Yeah, sign me up too.
Just pay for everything.
Order 5 boxes.
Strawberry cheesecake, please. Yeah. Is that what got your attention?
It's a real camera.
Yeah.
So if I just get into the box, he's gonna be like,
You still have,
All the best.
The real frozen one should be in your freezer.
Oh, okay.
So this is already baked.
no.
These have golf
And
balls. These ones have beans.
That would have been
the
easy to
soft
bake.
serve's not open yet.
Soft serve is open July and August, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, 3 days.
That's
It's very good. Come down and
Brilliant.
get it. Yes.
That's
It's like,
fantastic.
why be open when no one wants it?
exactly.
Let's make money when we can.
That is a good business model.
Very cool.
And it looks
Super
like,
cool.
Your glasses sell out really well.
Wonderful cookie, by the way.
Oh, yay.
Congratulations. This is a very cool project. Who's playing Rob with Love today?
I'm sure.
Brigitte?
Brigitte.
Chef Brigitte, you around? She's gone.
Oh, she's here.
Best of luck. Connect to the restaurant. Cheers.
How's everybody doing? Doing good? Aren't they charming? Yeah. I'm very excited to go see their physical space. They have a
Now, what's the physical space called?
pastry project. Yeah, they have a community kitchen where they do cookbook lending and school lending, especially for babies.
You should have jumped on and talked about that.
I know there was so much. Their hours are short. They're short. You gotta check.
I think
out
she
the
said
website.
3 days a week.
That was for the soft serve.
Oh,
And only in the summer.
For a soft serve. So, but I think you can visit the library. At other.
let's talk about the cookbook and tool library for a minute in this next segment. Unless you have somebody that's versed on sushi.
Well, we can all talk about homemade style sushi.
Yeah, I just
Yeah.
never do it. So.
Yeah.
And me, I never do it because my wife doesn't. She's not that big on sushi.
What?
Yeah, I know. Don't get me
You
started.
used to be that way. Don't even talk about it.
That's true.
She used to be like that.
Pamela did. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
This was I love this Jose Andreas. He does both a vegetable nigiri, and then he does these wonderful just nori tacos with seaweed, rice, and any kind of vegetables on them.
Right.
It's like what a fun way to eat.
You're going to talk about those.
Oh yeah.
We tell you what we don't like about it.
I know.
What year is this? A new book or what year? Is
Yeah.
Oh, no, it's
Vegetables Unleashed.
Huh.
Nice.
It's funny. He's funny.
He's the best. Yeah, he's the best. Almost as good as Tom and Terry.
Well, either he's the best or he's not
Yeah.
quite the best. One or the other.
He's the best. He's better than us. Right?
That's what generally the best means. All right, here we go. We are back in the kitchen. What an inspiring group Emily and Heather were. We missed a couple of things when we were talking to them in the last segment, so I just want to mention their cookbook and tool lending library.
Yes, at their physical space in Pioneer Square.
This is the pastry project.
The pastry project. The hours are limited, so feel free to call and check out their website. But they're so versatile because they have the public classes. They've got the community kitchen space that you can visit. You can have a private cooking class with them there. And we just can't wait till their soft serve opens in June.
So that's
3 days a week.
Yeah, I think she said July and August, didn't she say, or did she say
Yeah.
3 months?
You know,
This summer.
I have some old pastry books I should just drop to them for their library.
Brilliant. They would appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
That's a good idea.
Well, I mean, we have a lending library here and at the Hot Stove, and people rarely use it. I think it's kind of interesting because there's some modern books, unlike Terry's books, which are ancient. We actually have relevant modern books here at the Hot Stove
Yeah,
Society.
mine are still useful though. They got the basics covered.
Escoffier.
Yeah.
No, I'm just teasing. But anyway, so I think that's important, and plus the tools. I'm curious about the
tools.
tools
Right.
because
We've got to go look at them.
yeah, because if you're a part-time baker, and I know I have an entire cupboard in my garage, a 4 foot by 7 foot tall cabinet in my garage just for baking supplies, between bread baking and all the pastry and all the different tart pans and you name it. So sometimes it would be nice if you're going to. The other night I did a dinner for 16 and I had to go buy 16 ramekins.
Oh.
Would have been nice to know, and I could have maybe borrowed them from a lending kitchen. So, I mean,
Great resource.
yeah, exactly. I think that's super cool part of what they're doing down there at the Pastry Project. Go see them. Sign up for their delivery service. Their once a month Pastry Project kit. I think that's really cool too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Michael
that's very,
Todd's
very
already
cool.
signing up right now. He's
All right.
on it.
Hey, sign me up too, Michael. I'll give you my credit card. Pamela, you have a book in front of you from our friend Mr. Jose Andres.
Vegetables Unleashed.
And
It's very inspirational, but the chapters that I'm most excited about are the versions he does of homemade sushi. Because I think high level sushi, the rarefied shops that have the exquisite cutters with the really pristine fish
Mhm.
have scared a lot of people away from thinking that there's a way to do sushi at home. But there's a homemade version of combining your rice and whatever ingredients you desire to come up with a simple dinner. And one of the things that I learned in reading through this book is the big difference between the onigiri rice balls and that whole family and sushi is whether or not the rice is seasoned with vinegar.
Correct.
Rice vinegar.
Rice vinegar.
Yeah.
So the simple rice balls, the onigiri, that I think would be great to do with kids or at a party, is the unseasoned rice, and then you just prepare a bunch of fillings and you stuff it into the ball, and it's nigiri stands for handheld. So commonly they'll take the piece of nori and wrap it around and make a little finger hold with it.
Seaweed wrapper, yeah.
A seaweed wrapper. And the most common one that you see is that real beautiful triangle.
Mhm.
Right.
So but it's limitless what you can put in there.
Oh, for sure. I'm surprised you have read that isn't seasoned rice in that particular dish, because I've always used regular kind of sushi seasoned rice. For
Well,
my
I
onigiri.
prefer that.
Yeah, I mean, there's no reason not to. It sticks together, and
Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
it was the original Japanese definition of the difference.
Okay.
But I think we all want to season our rice.
Yeah, you want it seasoned, and we were talking about pickled vegetable earlier in a show. It would go really well with a wrapper like that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You know, any kind of pickled vegetable at different level, then you could wrap with your rice and your seaweed. That would be perfect. Make a great vegetarian. And you can make what's a green paste?
Wasabi.
Wasabi. Thank you.
Yeah.
You can make a wonderful wasabi mayonnaise or wasabi aioli, and then use that as a filler on top of the rice. That would also be a delicious, gooey little thing to add to your. I'm just.
We
thinking
did
of
such an exploration of onigiri for when we were consulting with Nordstrom on the project in Manhattan. Adrian Chamberlain
Yes.
did a whole batch of different ones, and the ones that made the cut were the pickled carrots, the shredded pickled carrots in the onigiri,
Oh, I love that.
and then the pickled beets in the onigiri, so that they came out purple, the orangish speckled with the pickled carrots,
Sure.
and we did the powdered mushroom, powdered shiitake into the onigiri. I mean, it's so easy to come up with your own flavor profile. One of the things in Jose's book, which I really liked, was the nori taco fiesta.
I know. It just that is a party waiting
I know.
to happen.
I mean, sushi has become such an international flavor love and texture love that while it might seem weird that this world famous Spanish chef is doing a taco party, it makes total sense. How does he?
Well, he's got, of course, he seasons his rice.
Yeah.
But the filling suggestions were far-reaching. It could be caviar, it could be kimchi, or a Catalan-style spinach. Mushroom d'Excel would be
Sure.
gorgeous
Yeah.
in this.
baby pig?
Piquillo peppers, roasted vegetables, and then importantly, you need some condiments, of course, the pickles, but he also suggests ponzu and sriracha and a mojo verde sauce. So
I'm sure the guacamole is in there somewhere.
Even saffron that's used a lot in Spanish cooking.
Oh,
You could use
would
that
be
in your
so
rice.
good.
That would be.
On
You know
the
what's
rice.
what I like about this is that when you go to the store these days, even Costco has pallets full of these seasoned seaweeds. They're in about a little rectangular square, about 2 inches by 3 inches or something, maybe 3 by 4. And you just pull them out and people eat them as snacks sometimes, but they're also a great wrap. And I think that's what he's using in his, where
Yeah.
you take that flat piece of nori, the dried seaweed, you put your sushi rice on top, just a dollop of it, and then you top it from there. That's the taco part, right?
It's an open face sandwich.
It's
Yeah,
an open face sandwich
but
on
it's
seaweed.
handheld, and you just squeeze it together, and
Yeah.
next thing you know, you've got a hand roll.
Yeah. That
And by
that's
the way,
other-
this is really, really good for you, by the way. And this is one way for us to start.
What are you saying, chef?
I'm saying it's delicious.
Oh yes, okay, I'm agreeing with you.
nutritional.
I'm not sure.
Carrots?
Yeah, but a bunch of sticky white rice.
No,
all things
a
in
sticky
moderation.
This
rice.
belly right here
Hey.
is all teriyaki sticky white
Tom.
rice.
Rice just doesn't bring anything to the table, but it doesn't take away. Just make more vegetable on top, and just use some baked purple potato. I mean, sweet potato.
Well, you
put
could
that
do
on
that
the
instead
rice.
of the rice if you wanted to.
With the rice, you could do both. If you still have to have rice, you have to understand some people need to have rice.
No, I'm not disagreeing, but chef, you stated unequivocally that this is good for you.
I say it doesn't hurt you. It does no.
It's a nice way to eat.
It doesn't bring anything to the table, but it's delicious.
Mhm.
But yeah, sweet.
The first thing I would put in my nori taco fiesta would be duck confit, that little rice with the duck confit and some duck skin cracklings.
Again,
that's good for you.
Exactly. I was going to say it's not bad for you if you don't do that every single day.
Right.
Again, everything in moderation and in balance. It's like, of course, you could make some wonderful, but nori and duck confit, I'm not sure that would go together.
Oh, perfect match.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That seaweed with the
Think
duck
about how
confit.
many Japanese chefs there are in Paris. Nori
So that's the
and
answer.
duck confit. That's the answer right there. It's a match made in heaven.
That'll be your next restaurant. Now let's talk about furikake.
What about furikake?
Because it's so versatile and it's new to my pantry.
Mm-hmm.
in the last year or so.
You want
as-
to figure out how to use it.
I want to figure out how to use it. But your Tokyo rub was inspired by
Togarashi,
togarashi,
which is more of a chili-based spice.
more
blend.
chili than
Japanese
seaweed.
often use it like salt and pepper in a soup or
Yeah.
something. But furikake is a shredded seaweed,
Seaweed.
sesame seed. It can have anything in it. I swear.
I know.
There's so many flavors at
Dried
Wandamaya
egg,
now.
dried bonito. I mean, it can have any
You
sort
can
of
use
flavor
it just
profile.
about anywhere. I mean, it's
I love it on eggs.
On eggs is great. On sticky
eggs.
rice is great.
it's
Yeah.
even great on finishing your soup. If you have a
Ah.
nice little soup like a fish soup, you can just throw a bunch of that at the end, extra flavor, and
No, this weekend, Memorial Day weekend, make macaroni salad. Like a lot of people make macaroni salad for their picnic. Add
Definitely.
sriracha. Now you've got a spicy mac salad, and then top it with furikake,
oh, jeez.
and you've got a delicious furikake
okay,
sticky
Tom.
rice salad.
'Cause
Yeah, yeah.
It's got a
That's
nice
one way to
crunchy
use it.
finish.
Exactly.
And you got the sesame seed and the crunchy seaweed. I love it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
So
So
that's multi-versatile.
super good for you.
Yeah, super good for you. Not the macaroni, but the.
I love the way you
the
said that.
furikake.
Oh, and it's good for you. It's the one thing my doctor said. You eat a lot of white rice. When he looked at me, how did you know? All right, let's play some food for thought, tasty trivia. Brought to you by Rub with Love Spice Rubs on Cover Radio. It's the Hot Stove Society Show, 97.3 FM.
Okay, Brigitte.
You on our number there? Are you going on vacation?
Brigitte to the station.
Amazing.
The only thing good for you. Probably not even see because it's all salty.
I know. Well, it got good power in it. It's all good for you.
Oh, the first.
I thought you just ordered for Pam.
Chef, let's do this.
Chef Brigitte. Brigitta. Did anyone sign up for a pastry project while you were sitting here?
No, but I looked it up on following them on Instagram.
Yeah.
They have a soft serve swirler application. Yeah, I love it.
Are you feeling?
Soft serve.
I know. Who
Look
doesn't?
at you, letting down the fair.
I know. I'm like, oh, she's up for the battle. That's a warrior look here.
I had
I
my
can tell.
hair done.
Did
And
you?
they do the blowout. You should get a blowout, Tom.
I love a good blowout.
But there's so there.
Ah, talking to the wrong guy.
Walked right
You
into
walked
that
right- I know she's so sweet. She's like, oh, you should get. Oh man, that was like wrong guy. You give it to him on the platter.
That's funny.
All right, what's the theme today?
Hard.
Pastry. Pastry is the theme.
Should have done
You guys
pastry.
didn't mention salmon for the barbecue.
I did
You did? Oh,
for picnic.
for picnic. Yeah.
Poached salmon.
Poached salmon.
Cold to make a salmon. This was. That was my picnic thing.
All right, people. Let's do this.
So let me get this straight. Yesterday's show was so this weekend.
Yes,
Memorial Day is next week, right?
correct.
Yeah.
Okay. Just want to make sure it's not this weekend.
Correct.
Don't start cooking your hot dogs yet.
You would have missed your
You gotta-
flight.
I'll start cooking your hot dog. That's not gonna happen.
I know.
I ordered a hot dog the other day at a restaurant by the warehouse. I didn't know what I wanted, so I ordered the chicken sandwich, the burger, and the hot dog.
Oh, come on.
I did.
You ordered all three of them because you did
Well,
not
no
know what you
wonder
wanted.
Pam doesn't pick up the tab.
And your doctor is asking if you eat too much rice.
It's a
If you
tax
said too
write-off,
much, it's the
dude.
worst.
Just because I ordered them doesn't mean I ate them all.
Okay.
I
That's
tried them. I tried them all.
Yeah, of course.
There wasn't one thing edible.
Ooh, ow.
I was so disappointed.
Was this on 14th?
I don't know where it was. It was in Ballard.
That's a
Just
huge
so I
name.
don't go there.
Did you go down for the parade yesterday?
No, I was here making paella for 85.
What's a parade for?
It's the 10 de Mai, the
Yeah.
Norwegian Independence Day.
It was packed, and we weren't even 20 blocks within the Ballard, downtown Ballard, and it was packed.
Have you been, Pam?
Yeah. One year I made a gigantic float of Captain Ballard when I was working at Red Hook.
Oh, that's
I made
awesome.
this gigantic paper mache head of Captain Ballard and mounted it on top of one of our delivery trucks. It was really good.
Yeah, we just go to Ocho and sit at those
Yeah.
outside picnic tables and watch the turn. you
Yeah, I'm
know.
sure nobody else was there. That place would be.
We go super
Jam.
early. Yeah,
I love Ocho.
guaranteed hangover the next day.
Yeah.
Sitting in the sun, watching the parade.
Drinking margaritas.
All right, you ready for some food for thought?
Yeah.
Okay. Welcome back. It's time for Rub with Love Tasty Trivia, brought to you by Rub with Love Spice Rubs, our personal line of chef-inspired rubs, a lively shallot mustard, and 4 deeply rich sauces. With these tools in your pantry, you are ready to turn every meal into a feast. The following fine retailers are happy to help you with your Memorial Day picnic. Us right here at the Hot Stove, down at Seatown, we have the entire selection, because that's what's hard to find sometimes, is the entire selection.
I know it.
Yeah. Out at the warehouse in Ballard, Metropolitan Markets, Town and Country Markets, Tacoma Boys, B&E Meats, Wild Salmon Seafood over at Fisherman's Terminal there, and Payless Foods on Whidbey Island are just a few of the many places you can find our Rub with Loves. Pamela, tell the folks how we play this game and tell them how I'm going to win today.
Well, we're gonna have to reverse the question.
Well, I've got 3 wonderful contestants, Tom, Terry, and Bridget, and they're each going to get 5 questions, and someone is going to get the most right.
That's
And
right.
whoever gets the most right gets to pick one audience member to go for a free ride for 3 rubs in our gift shop.
Wow.
Wow. That's exciting.
Terry?
Or we could just be generous and give each person 1 rub.
Let's do that. I think everybody
You like
wants
that better?
Yeah.
All right, they're all winners. We don't have to play. Let's
Everyone's
go.
a winner. Question number 1, Chef in the Hat.
Go ahead. Hit me.
Where's the beef is a catchphrase in the United States and Canada introduced in 1984 by which fast food chain? Where's the beef?
Was it
Boy,
on McDonald's?
Jeff is at a disadvantage.
That was
I know.
Jacques dans la boîte, as in Jack in the box. I'm
No.
gonna try that one.
It's Wendy's.
Wendy's. Okay.
Wendy's. Number 2, what berry, starting with a B, was grown and named after a California horticulturist who crossed European raspberry, European blackberry, American dewberry, and loganberry? This is it's a longer style, starts with a B. It's got
You know
a,
the answer?
it's got a lot of seeds.
I'm gonna go. It starts with a B.
B.
Starts with a B.
B.
A lot of fruit does.
Boysenberry.
Yes. You're brilliant.
Chef, a lot of fruit starts with a B. It's called a pollinator.
He got it.
Oh.
According to 18th century satirist Jonathan Swift, he was a bold man that first ate what bivalve that comes both in Blue Point and Kumamoto?
Oysters.
Yes.
God, no kidding. Who would look at that and say, "Wow, I can't wait"? You must have been mighty hungry.
The first. I mean, the guy deserves the crown because the first guy who looks at an oyster and go, "I gotta eat that."
Yeah.
That's
They started
not,
something,
That's
though.
a lot of courage.
Number 4, what is the name of the Japanese snack food first sold in 1966, initially described as a chocolate biscuit stick?
Oh.
There are now
Oh.
additional flavored coatings such as almond,
Oh, I eat
strawberry,
them, but I
green
don't
tea,
remember the
banana.
name of
Starts
it.
with a P. Biscuit.
Pocky sticks.
Pocky.
Pocky.
You know what? I like them. They're delicious.
I love them.
But I couldn't remember the name.
Number 5, technically translating directly as candy from milk. What is the name of the confection from Latin America prepared by slowly heating sweetened milk to create a brown substance which is used as a dessert or topping?
Yep. I know exactly what you're talking about. The caramel.
Sometimes they make
Yeah.
a cake out of it.
Yeah, the
Starts with a
caram-
D.
Oh, no, da. The
Dolce de
de
leche.
leche.
Yay!
I had to
That's
give you a clue because it's
putting-
only a 2-hour show.
That's pulling out of the brain memory that will burn in the back.
I give him a
3
D.
out of 5.
Okay, good showing. Bridget?
Yes, Pam.
If you order a dish of Indian food, which includes chana, you'll be treated to a legume that goes by 2 different common names in English. Could you guess either one of those?
Lentil or split pea?
Chana
Chana dal.
Chana dal. My source said chickpea, but okay, I trust you. Number
Well,
2.
there's your first mistake.
The Food and
Oh.
Drug Administration's first commissioner, Harvey Washington Wiley, began serving in 1907. Who was president then? William Taft, Woodrow Wilson, or Theodore Roosevelt?
Roosevelt.
Correct. You're off to a strong start.
He was my
You guys were
thesis
born
in
the same
college.
year, weren't you?
Oh, easy there, Tiger.
Number 3, what
She's on the second run.
dessert is known as a symbol of harvest time and is generally flavored with cinnamon powder, ginger, nutmeg, and cloves. The world's record for the largest of these desserts weighed 3,600 pounds and measured 20 feet in diameter.
Whoa.
But I would focus more on the harvest time and the seasonings. What is that dessert?
Like a crisp, a cobbler, gingerbread.
say-
What if it's
cookie.
made from something that's round and
Oh,
orange?
a pie.
A pumpkin pie.
I'm not
That's-
sure, I'm, not
yeah,
sure I'm going
that's
to give
not a
that.
win.
shit.
3,600 pounds.
Harvest time, though, like apple pie. But yeah,
I would have gone apple.
that's a no. Yeah.
Peasant's cabbage was an early term for what cruciferous plant that spiked in popularity in the 2000s? We ate too much of it. Green, leafy,
Oh, kale.
kale. Totally.
8. We're still
Lacina-
eating.
Lacinato, right?
Yeah. And number 5, in ruminant animals, the rumen, reticulum, omasum, and obomasum are the 4 compartments of what organ which helps the
Stomach.
animals ferment their food before digestion?
stomach.
It's the stomach. You got it.
Yes.
How'd she do?
4 out of 5.
Nice job,
She almost
Brigitte.
nailed that one down.
Nice job.
Tom, it's up to you.
Uh-oh, now she's got the stare down going on me. She's got a new hairdo, so
I know,
I'm
she-
distracted.
According to FDA regulations, Tom, what unit of volume of ice cream must weigh at least 4.5 pounds to be called ice cream?
A gallon.
Smarty pants. Correct. Number 2, name this mystery fruit. It is known as the king of fruits in some regions. It's known for its strong odor, thorn-covered rind. If you removed 1 letter from the fruit's name and repeated yourself, you'd have the name of a mega successful 80s band.
What? Wait a minute. Say that again.
Jackfruit. Breadfruit.
Odor. Strong odor.
Yeah, he's just named 2 of them that stink.
The thorn-covered rind.
Jackfruit.
Shout it out. Give him a lifeline. Yeah.
Durian.
Durian. You don't get that one. The audience does.
Audience says you're a loser.
Number 3, what common vegetable is the most cultivated member of the allium genus? has an unknown country of origin, has been used for at least
The
7
onion.
tons. Yes. And is considered toxic for cats and dogs.
Yes, you know, when our
Really?
dog was so sick
Yeah.
in Eastern Washington, I'm at the vet and blah blah blah. What did he get into the onions? It's like I have no
What?
idea.
Yeah.
I would have.
Yeah, they're poisonous.
Yeah.
Wow.
And chocolate's a problem too.
Boston is a specific cultivar of what leafy vegetable? It is the variant is also known as butterhead.
Butter
or
lettuce. I have
bib.
bib lettuce. I don't know. Boston is the cultivar. Does that mean the name?
Yes.
Okay.
And aloo, A-L-O-O, is a foodstuff found in many popular Indian dishes such as aloo gobi. Aloo refers to what common starchy food?
Starchy food. Must be potatoes.
In fact, it's potato. Yay!
All right.
Wow, 4 out of 5 for Tom too.
Oh, it's
All right.
a
That
tie
means
today.
each of our guests today, we have 4 guests today. Each of you gets to go to the gift shop. And when you buy $100 worth of product, you get a free rub. If you want to be part of the show, you can join the community on YouTube Live at Tom Douglas & Co. Also, remember, if you missed any episode of our Hot Stove Society show on Cairo, you can listen via podcast. Just subscribe with your favorite podcast app. The show is produced by Pamela Hinckley. Our technical director is Sean McFadden. Our talented Cairo editor is Sean. Please don't ever call me Del Torre.
Thanks for listening and have a wonderful Memorial Day weekend.
Hi, I'm Chef Tom Douglas.
And I'm Thierry Roturo, the chef in a hat.
This afternoon on the Hot Stove Society radio show, we talk about Memorial Day picnic favorites, the good works of the pastry project right down in our own Pioneer Square, sushi at home, and of course, the pleasure of homemade quick pickles.